I have a GE profile 7 years old. The embraco vegt 8 hours is measuring 0.012 ohms at each terminal. The inverter is getting 120 volts and 12 volts DC from take control board. Refigerator is not cooling. Is it the compressor and controller? Looks like the controller is $200. I'm not sure about the embraco. What should the voltage be from the controller to the inverter? The point of these inverter boards is that they vary the voltage to the compressor, which means you don and number 39. T-test voltage to know if the compressor is bad or the inverter board is bad. If the compressor isn't in number 39, T running, you need to unplug the wire harness from the compressor to see the 3 terminals on the compressor itself. Test resistance between any combination of 2 terminals. There are a total of 3 possibilities, and you should get the exact same resistance between every combination. If that all checks good, then you need a new inverter board. If you find that one of the combinations is out of range from the other 2 combinations, then you need a new compressor. Now, if the compressor is running, the inverter board has nothing to do with your problem. That would mean you either have a freon leak or an inefficient compressor or something to that effect if the freezer is warming up and the fan inside the freezer is running and trying to cool.
Thanks for the response, but I posted the voltage and resistance reading for the specific compressor. The output from the controller is 12 volts DC, G. E. OEM part #WR49 by 10152, pin 14 and pin 16. The compressor terminals after the inverter is removed is 0.012 at all 3 terminals. My question is this: the correct voltage from the controller and the correct resistance in the compressor? I think the voltage should be 6 volts and the resistance 6.5 ohms, but I'm not sure.
Well, again, the voltages will vary, so testing voltages is pointless. You did say you got 0.012 on all 3 terminals, but I don and number 39. T know what that means. Are you trying to say that any combination of 2 terminals you check 0.012 ohms? If so, then that is a problem and your compressor is shorted, so you and number 39, D need a new compressor.
Thanks for the response. I believe the voltage to the inverter can be measured, but the voltage out of the inverter needs special equipment. That is not where I measured. Since the refrigerator is room temperature, the voltage out of the controller is pretty constant, 12 volts. I saw a video, and it was the same controller and compressor. The voltage was 6.5 and the compressor resistance was 6.5 ohms. The guy said this was good, but I'm not getting those values, so I'm thinking it's the compressor and board. But that's my question: are these values good or bad? I have specified the components, compressor and controller. Yes, any combination of 2 terminals is 0.012 ohms.
Okay, then replace your compressor.
Thanks, but my first post asked the question: what should the voltage be from the controller to the inverter? I have given the part numbers and my measurements and what I think the voltage should be. I'm not trying to be difficult, but if I call the service guy tomorrow and give him all the info I have posted, model, part numbers and measurements, he should know if they are in spec or not. Is the 12 volts out of spec?
And I told you it varies. You don and number 39, T-test voltage. Why you keep arguing with me is beyond me. 12 volts is in spec, but it can be 24 volts also. It ramps up the compressor and the compressor changes speeds. There isn't a number 39, T, just one voltage. We are on the honor system here. If you need anything else, just let me know. You can continue asking follow-up questions at no additional charge after rating my service if you still need assistance.
The technician looked at the refrigerator, which was unplugged since WED. Plugged it in. The compressor was running and he said everything looked fine. He left after 20 minutes and said to let it run and see if it maintained temp. The freezer is 0 and fridge is 37. Compressor is fine. The only explanation is the freezer drawer was opened during the day with a light bulb and ambient air going and causing the food to thaw and maybe sending the fridge into defrost mode or some kind weird state. If it stays at temp for a couple of days, then everything should be good to go. So I guess the continuity readings that I took on the compressor show the compressor was fine.
Well, I am number 39, am glad it and number 39. S running, but those readings definitely aren't at number 39. T good, they are supposed to be 0.6 ohms each, so 0.012 ohms is way too little, and I am number 39. Am not sure why you got that reading.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.